Let's see what DistroKid offers us in its most basic plan. As you can see here on the screen, my annual plan has expired, and I am going to renew it to the Musician Plus plan. But before doing this, I am going to show you what the basic plan brings. Here, in a superficial way, they tell us that it brings this plan. It tells us that we can load unlimited songs, we can load unlimited lyrics, we also have the Spotify verification brand. That is, if you have not verified your Spotify through DistroKid, you can do it. And finally, it tells us that with this plan we can only upload songs from a single artist. But don't get confused, I can upload songs by this artist in collaboration with other artists. But I can't upload a song by this artist and then upload another song by a different artist that has nothing to do with my first artist. Well, then we continue. Here DistroKid shows us some superficial functions. But apart from this, we can do many more things, and we are going to see it. Well, here at the top where our profile photo appears, if we click it, some options that have to do with personal data are going to be displayed. For example, customize our profile, our payment account, our credit card, the messages that we receive, etc. In the first tab, if we unfold it, we see that it says slaps.com. This is a social network that DistroKid offers us to share our songs. And also other users of this platform /.com are going to give us a feedback of our song, that is, they are going to give us opinions. Also, if you want to see it in another way, this can be one more platform to let our songs be known. The second tab is a page where DistroKid gives us the possibility to add our song, and this song is going to be paired with other songs from other DistroKid. Users and people, your fans, your relatives, or anyone who has the link, can vote and choose between the song of that other user or yours. This platform helps us to enter the playlists that DistroKid has. And the way in which these playlists are entered, as you can already intuit, are the most voted songs. So this can also be an option for you. If you have a big fan, share this link to your fans and vote for your song. And finally, we have this roulette that DistroKid offers us, which is like a game where you are going to get some numbers at random. And that number that comes out is going to be the position where your song is going to be located in the Spotify playlists that DistroKid has. For example, if my song is in number 1, it will be first on the list of that DistroKid playlist. But reaching these positions so high is very difficult. The maximum that has come out here is 100. But it is still another option that DistroKid offers you, and you have to keep in mind that you can only do that once a day. And if a user gets the same number as you, that user's song will replace your song. Now we go down to the next tab, where here DistroKid is going to offer us different ways to promote our songs. The first option we have is the hyperfollow, which is basically an intelligent link or a smart link, where the different platforms where your song is distributed are shown. DistroKid also gives us the option of being able to modify this smart link as we want. We can place the platforms of our preference. For example, if I want to put Claro Musica, I can put Claro Musica. If suddenly I don't want to put Spotify, I don't put it. If I want to put a YouTube video in this link, I can do it. I can also place my social networks if I want, etc. The next option we have to promote our songs are the mini videos. And this will help us a lot if we suddenly do not have knowledge or do not have a graphic designer who can create different images for us to promote our songs on social networks. It is very important that you know that in order to use this function, we must have previously distributed our song with DistroKid. Then just to use it, we click on any of these images and it will take us to the next section. Here we can click on play to see a preview of how our promotional image could be seen. Here on the right we can choose our song and modify the minutes we want for this video. Then we click on generate and wait for the video to process and then download it. And here I leave you an example of how this video would look. Well, the next function we have is a meme generator. But it should be clarified that this meme generator is more focused on an audience where their native language is English, or that they understand English. But if you want to use it, you can choose any of these options. Here you can press play to understand the context of the meme. I'm not going to put it here to avoid copyright infringement. Then to create the meme, you are simply going to click here. Configure all the fields and click where it says generate video. Then you also wait for the video to be processed and then download it. Well, right now we go to the next function, and it is another video generator, and as you can see they are a little more professional. But here's a problem. These videos are more professional, but these are paid. If you like one, you select it and we can see that here there are different formats. It is in vertical format, horizontal format, square format. You can click on it so that you can see a preview of the video. Choose your song, edit the fields, then put on which platform you are going to use this video. For example, on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook, etc. And likewise, the option you choose will generate a price down here. You can explore this function as long as you have the economic capacity to use this function. In my case, I would not use this function, but I would use the other functions, but that is in everyone's taste. Then we have the promo cards. I have already talked about this in other videos. Here I will be leaving you the video if you want to go see it. But basically they are images that will help you promote your song. In stories or in reels format or in any creative use that you give it. Then we go to the next function where DistroKid will offer us a phone number for us to be able to interact with our fans. This function can be used by those artists who do not want to reveal their private phone number. Because here DistroKid will offer us one so that we can use it, but the problem with this is that this option is paid. You have to pay almost $13 a month. I do not recommend it, but it is already in your decision if you have the ability to acquire this number. It is paid, but it is a function that DistroKid also offers us and it must be mentioned. And finally, in this promotion section we have Upstream. Yes, I know that I pronounce English very badly. Well, this option helps us to be able to communicate with other artists or that record labels can contact you. It is important to know that to use this option you must activate it. In my personal experience I have not had contact with any record label, but that is what DistroKid tells us here. Well, in the next tab we are going to find several options to be able to verify famous music platforms such as Spotify for artists, Apple Music for artists. Or we can also get our official artist channel on YouTube. Of these 3 points I have already made videos. I am also going to leave you the videos up here so that you can review them in case you are interested. And this helps us to be able to modify our profiles, both Spotify, Apple Music and YouTube in a more personalized way. For example, if you do not have verified your Spotify for artists, you will not be able to add a profile image, a banner, social networks, biographies, etc. Instead, with this you can verify it and then later do all that process. Below we have the option of being able to connect DistroKid with our AudioMac account. What is AudioMac? AudioMac is another platform like Spotify, like Apple Music. The difference is that with AudioMac you can create a personal account and upload your songs without any intermediary. By the way, I need 25 followers to be able to verify my AudioMac account. If you are an AudioMac user, I would greatly appreciate it if you follow me on AudioMac. Down here in the description of this video I will leave you the link. Then below we have an option that DistroKid offers us to be able to join the Twitch program. I am not a Twitch user, so I do not have much knowledge about it. But I am going to show you what DistroKid tells us about this. It tells us that DistroKid and Twitch have an alliance, and it makes it easier for us to request to be part of this Twitch program. Here it tells us that with this we can have continuous support from Twitch. And they will be eligible for the discovery, promotion, and prioritized activities of Twitch, Discord, and other industry partners. As I told you before, I have never explored this option, so I leave this option to you to explore it. And if you are a Twitch user and you see that this works for you, it is one more option that DistroKid offers us. Then in the second option, DistroKid allows us that if we have a Twitch channel, we can link our music with that Twitch channel. Now in this last option, we can modify certain data from your artistic career on the different music platforms. For example, there are platforms that do not provide direct tools so that the artist can modify their artist data on that platform. So here DistroKid gives us this function for us to make a change to the general level of those platforms. Here in the first part we can place a profile image. So the image that I put here is going to be put on the other digital platforms. At the moment I do not have information on how I can modify my artist data in Claro Musica. But through this, if I put an image here, later it will be updated and the image that I put here in Claro Musica will appear. Likewise, I can also place a biography in my social networks. Now we go to the next tab. In the lyrics part we can add the lyrics to our song. And these lyrics are going to be shown on those platforms that use this function, such as Apple Music. And on the right side we can place synchronized lyrics, both on Instagram and Facebook, such as this video.
No entiendo, me ha pasado tantas veces, pero yo sigo cayendo. Y en el amor estoy perdiendo.
Now, the problem we have with these synchronized lyrics is that this function is not integrated into the basic plan of DistroKid. But I'll leave you the data in case you are suddenly interested. We continue with the credits function. Here in this function we can place metadata that we may have forgotten when we uploaded our song. For example, I'm going to select any of these songs. And if we click here, we will see different professions that can be part of the composition of a song. For example, the producer's data, the mixing engineer's data, the master's data, the recording studio's data. If we suddenly, when uploading our song, forget these data, we can put them here. You have to keep in mind that some data, such as the record label, we will not be able to modify it in the basic plan of DistroKid. But some data, such as the composer of the song, we can do it. Finally, we have this function of Dave, which is not very relevant. This is simply an algorithm that will analyze our song and give us an opinion about this song. For example, here it tells me that this song lasts 3 minutes and 36 seconds, that its scale is the largest, that the BPM of this song is 82.0, etc. And it also shows us other data about the song. In this option, we can find some backup copies of the songs that we have uploaded. Any song that you upload will be stored here. And in case for some reason you do not find this song, you lost it, you deleted it, here you will find it. Then we have the option of DistroLock, which is a service where the digital fingerprint of our song is registered. And it will be able to protect it from some people who get this song illegally. And in this way we can protect our music. In this last section where it says Fixer, here we can correct some problems that can arise when we distribute our songs. For example, that our music appears in the profile of an artist that does not correspond to me. That is not my artist profile. So with this function I can fix this problem. Of this topic I also made a video, up here, you can check it. Then if for some reason we want to see the Spotify URI of some of our songs, here we can do it. Here we can find it. And likewise with the Apple ID. In this last section, we can see the list of allowed channels in order to avoid content identification claims, in case we have previously acquired this function with DistroKid. As a warning and clarification data, for us to be able to access the content ID with DistroKid, we have to pay a certain amount. After seeing these options in this tab, we go to the bank section. Here we can configure our payment data and tax information to be able to withdraw our earnings. I also made a video about this. We will also have detailed data on how many views and how much money we have generated with our songs. If you want more specific data, here you can find it. Here in this function that you see on the screen, we can divide how much is the percentage of money of the master that corresponds to each artist of the song. As long as these artists are in DistroKid. Here we can directly assign what percentage of money corresponds to each one. We can also enter the same tab if we click up here where it says Splits. For example, I'm going to choose this song and here I can assign the percentage that corresponds to me. And if there are more artists, I click where it says Add Collaborator and I also assign a percentage. Returning to the Bank tab, if I click here, it will show me how much money the artist who is using DistroKid has generated, and also how much money is generated for other types of income. I can also click here and I can see how much money my songs have generated individually. Also, by clicking on this section, we can see how much money we have generated by streaming platform. Done. After having reviewed everything that this bank tab offers us, let's see what are the options that DistroKid offers us at the time of distributing our songs. Then I'm going to click up here, but as you can see, nothing appears because I have to renew the plan. So I'm going to renew this plan and I'll see you in a second. Well, here I have renewed my plan, but this time I went from the basic plan to the Musician Plus plan. But in the same way I'm going to show you what can be done and what cannot be done in the basic plan. In the first section, Basic Plan, we can choose any store where we want our song to be distributed. We can also select the number we want of songs to be able to distribute. This option is also available. Here in the artistic name or band name, in the basic plan we can choose only one artist as we have mentioned before. Then this release date section in the basic plan we cannot modify it. If you upload a song in the basic plan, your song will be released depending on how long it takes each platform to upload the song. Then in the record label name, we cannot modify it. Here in the basic plan, it will already have a default name. The cover, yes, we can modify it. The language, primary and secondary genre, we can also modify it. Song title too. We can also place guest artists, that is, we can do collaborations. We can also choose which version of the song it is, if it is an acoustic version, radio, etc. Then we can upload the song in any of these formats. This Dolby Atmos section did not appear before. This is new, so I don't know if this section comes out. Leave me here in the comments if you have the basic plan, tell me if it comes out or not. Then the data of the composers also comes out, if we can modify. Explicit lyrics we can also modify. These next two options we can also modify. And in the demo clip, this option is also in doubt. I think to remember that it cannot be done. However, leave me here in the comments if it can be done or not. I think not. Then we move on to what is the price of the song on iTunes and Amazon. This in the basic plan we cannot modify it. And already these optional extras, if we can access them in the basic plan. However, if you are a person who has few economic resources like me, I do not recommend accessing any of these payment options. But if you have the ability to do it, it is your choice. Finally, these options are practically the same as the basic plan. I remind you that here below in the description I will leave a link with the 7% discount if you want to register in DistroKid. If you want to learn how to register in DistroKid, you have to watch this video.